Hey guys, Veronica here. I am your integrative nutrition health coach, and I am here bringing another video regarding pregnancy. In this video, we're going to be talking about my second trimester and the main things that were happening in my body and some of the things that I was feeling. And you are going to see my daughter a lot today. We're going to be talking about 5 different things that really stood out during that second trimester, and hopefully this also will give you an idea of what to expect or some of the things that actually helped me. But anyhow, let's get started with number 1. So the first symptom, and this symptom kind of carried on from my first trimester, and if you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend you going back and watch it, because on the second trimester, one of the symptoms that I had was I had difficulty drinking water. I had that symptom back in that first trimester, but it carried over to the second trimester. I had to continue consuming the cucumbers. I needed to make sure that I was going to stay somewhat hydrated because I wasn't able to consume any at all. And teas also during pregnancy, you have to be very careful. You have to be very selective on what kind of teas you're going to consume, because obviously not all teas are okay for you to consume during pregnancy. So I was consuming a lot of cucumbers. I was purchasing those ice cubes that are really small, just as another way for me to consume water. But I was getting full really quick, and so it was making it very difficult to get that water intake, because if I had some water sipping it through the straw, then I couldn't really eat, and it was just very difficult. So that was a big symptom during that second trimester. So down to number 2. The second symptom that I had during that second trimester, and it was kind of worrying me at first, but I realized that it's actually more normal than we actually think, and it is that regarding weight. During that second trimester, I gained the weight that I had lost during that first trimester. Again, you can go back to that first trimester video, I talk about it. But it is actually normal for a lot of women to lose weight on that second trimester. But then on the second trimester, you gain that portion back that you lost, and you might actually gain a little bit extra. And that is what happened to me. So during that second trimester, I gained what I had lost, which was a total of 4 pounds. And then I gained probably about 5 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't very much. If you think about it, it wasn't really that much, even though I did not look pregnant on my second trimester. Every time that I was going to my appointments and they will measure my belly, every single measurement was fine. Whenever they did the ultrasound, the measurements on her were on point. So everything was measuring exactly how it should be. So there was really nothing for me to worry about. And the doctors kept saying, if you're not gaining any weight, don't worry. Your baby is growing and weighs what she should be weighing. So, just continue doing what you're doing. Because remember, we're just trying to get through pregnancy, because sometimes the symptoms are kind of hard. And so that was the second thing for me with the weight. A third symptom that I had that I thought was kind of interesting was my body was asking me for more movement. It was asking me to stretch. Like I would feel like I needed to do some stretching. Now, I'm not really familiar with a lot of yoga movements, but if you know yoga, you know how great it feels whenever you do some stretching, some yoga movements. And so that was another thing that I don't know if it was because my activity had kind of lowered from prior to pregnancy. I was very active during pre-pregnancy, but now during pregnancy I really wasn't. I was pregnant the majority of the winter, and so our activity level kind of decreases during or at least in my case, my activity level tends to decrease during the winter time, and so I really wasn't that active. I wanted to go out for walks, but we were in Indiana at that time, and if you are from Indiana, you know how cold the winters can get, and so I wasn't really walking very much. We used to go to the mall at least to get some movement at the stores, and buy a few things. But that was, my body was requiring me, was asking me for that movement. So listen to your body during the second trimester. If it's asking you to stretch, then just do the stretch. If you're concerned that you might hurt yourself, always consult with your doctor and ask them, hey, is it okay if I do this? A lot of them will tell you just to listen to your body and take it easy. So, just moving on to the fourth symptom. Now, this symptom that I'm going to talk about kind of freaked me out a little bit, not that much, but enough that got me Googling and making sure that it was normal, because this was something that wasn't really covered with my doctor. And it was probably 1 or 2 in the morning. I had to go to the bathroom. So I woke up, got up, and I felt like my t-shirt was wet. And I thought it was weird. I thought it was random because it was winter and sweating. I was like, maybe it's we need to lower the heater, or maybe I'm having hot flashes. But whenever I turned the light on and, I'm peeing in the bathroom, I looked down and I noticed little wet dots on my shirt. It was actually milk. And so this is a symptom. This is something that will happen to a lot of women during that second trimester. A lot of women do notice that milk production during that second trimester. In my case, I did. So one thing that I did, I went online, and I probably put the link. If I can find it, I'll probably place the link below. I was able to find these pads that are washable. You can probably get them now like at Target or Walmart. But whenever I was pregnant, I don't think any of that was available at the store. I know I ordered them online, but you can get disposable ones, or if you just want to be washing them, you can go ahead and do that. I actually purchased the washable ones. It was really great that I purchased them because it came with 4 pairs of pads, and after I got done breastfeeding, I actually gave them to another friend that happened to be that had just given birth, and I thought that was going to help her a lot. So those pads were great. They were very soft. They were not uncomfortable at all. I couldn't even feel them that I had them on, but it was a really way for me to protect my t-shirt and the bed, because at some point I was getting milk on the bed, and it's kind of uncomfortable for you to wake up and see all of that liquid. I don't know, it was just weird. It was very bizarre for me, the experience, and you get to experience a lot of weird things during pregnancy, and as crazy as it sounds, is very normal. So be aware that you might have the same issue that I did. I was producing already a lot of milk, and your body is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So don't worry about that. Do not try to pump your milk out, because there have been studies where it can induce you into labor. So be mindful of that. Be mindful, especially if you're on that second trimester. You don't want to induce labor because your baby's not ready. Never try to pump your milk prior to pregnancy, because there is a chance for you to go into labor. So be careful with that. Never try to pump prior. Just wait until your baby's born, and then pump as many times as you want. The more the better, because you'll produce more milk. But we can talk about that in another video. The fifth symptom for me was sleeping on my left side was my only solution for the second trimester. I didn't really have a big belly during that second trimester, and even though I didn't really have a belly, there was still some discomfort uh, falling asleep. I couldn't fall asleep facing up because I would feel the weight. I couldn't fall asleep on the right side because it would give me heartburns, and I couldn't sleep facing down because I would feel like I was asphyxiating myself with all the pressure. And so sleeping on the left side was my savior. If you're having difficulty sleeping, try sleeping on your left side. I know that I was using a lot of pillows, so I was using probably one pillow here, one pillow here, and sometimes I would put a pillow in between my legs, and in that way my knees wouldn't be touching and get tired because I would start feeling some hip pain. So putting a pillow in between and sleeping on my left side was something that really helped me to get a really comfortable and wonderful night's sleep. So remember, pillow on your side or in between your legs. I actually had like two small pillows to kind of play around, and kind of put one here and then the other one here, and then a very small one as well in between my legs that was just big enough for me to keep my legs kind of separated in a very comfortable position to allow my hips to rest. Guys, those are the 5 symptoms that really make a difference on your second trimester. It changes for everybody, but those are very typical on the second trimester. The milk might not be very typical for a lot of women, but it was part of my experience. So if you have that experience, go check out those pads on that link below, and hopefully they will help you as much as they helped me. So you guys take care. Go back and watch that first trimester video. But if you already watched it, then let's go to the third trimester. You guys take care.